Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Victoria Broz, Chief Legal Officer with Economic Strategist, with us today. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Glad you're here. All right, Victoria, give us some background on what you do at Economic Strategist, what Economic Strategist does, and then I want to get into asset protection, okay?
Sounds good. My name is Victoria Broz. I'm the Chief Legal Officer at Economic Strategist. I graduated from law school in the year 2000 and have had 18 years of background in contract law and litigation experience. I'm currently running the legal team at Economic Strategist. What we do there is we settle our clients into highly specialized spendthrift trust instruments that benefit them tremendously.
Now, let's dive into asset protection, because this is one of the unique parts of the Spendthrift Trust that most people think they have when they have a trust, but not really to the extent that they need or this Spendthrift Trust provides. Talk to our audience about that.
It's really true. Our trust is designed to provide total and complete asset protection. We like to call it the titanium vault of asset protection. In our trust, your assets being entered into the trust are completely and utterly protected in every sense of the word. They are protected from lawsuits. They can never be taken away from you. They belong to the trust and not you, and therefore no creditor of yours is ever able to penetrate the assets of the trust. They are also protected from probate, from the death and estate tax that you always hear about, because your assets continue to move along downstream and remain in the trust. Even though you may pass away, the trust doesn't, so that never gets implicated. So they're really protected in every sense of the word.
All right, that's a great answer. Thank you. Now, you have a long name for this trust. Can we walk through that and give us the intricacies of what each one of those parts mean?
We do. The long name of the trust is it's a copyrighted, non-grantor, complex, discretionary, irrevocable spendthrift trust with Rule 643 of the Internal Revenue Code embedded into it. That is a very long name. The importance of that is that every one of those pieces has to work together. You can't have any of those missing, otherwise you lose some part of the asset protection. Most people will go to their attorney and they will ask for a trust, and they will end up getting a grantor trust, thinking that they have asset protection, but you don't in that sense, because as you granted the trust, it can be declared an alter ego of yourself and therefore penetrable by a court of law. Ours are non-grantor trusts. They have to be irrevocable so that you lose title to your assets, because as long as they are still yours, they can be taken from you. They can't be taken from the trust. And it goes into all of those things. The discretionary and all of the other terminology has to do with the way you as a trustee maintain total control over those assets and control everything that the trust is going to do.
All right. Now, there is a lot of aha moments when people finally get to the point of figuring out how this really works for them. You've had a few. Tell us about those.
It's true. We see that a lot. We hear, how come I've never heard of this before? Why didn't my lawyer bring this to me? Why didn't my own CPA bring this to me? The Spendthrift Trust is truly, Michael, it's an ancient form of running business and maintaining your assets. So when our country first started, you have to think of the railroad magnates, the steel magnates, the banking families, the Rockefellers, all of those people. We didn't have C Corps or LLCs or sub-S elections, so they ran all of their companies through the Spendthrift Trust, which actually dates back to the 1500s. So it predates the formation of our country, our Constitution, our legislative branch, the executive and judicial branches, and those branches are intended to uphold the Constitution. This is not a product of the Constitution. It predates it. In fact, our Constitution is actually created by trust. It's a trust statement in the first few sentences. So that is why the asset protection is so important in this, is people, there's no judge that could ever issue a turnover order of assets that are within the Spendthrift Trust. So once people really realize what this instrument can do for them and avoid probate and all of those things that tear families apart and keep everything they've worked so hard for and be able to give that to the future generations. The aha moment is, this is what the big families are doing. The Rockefellers, the Kennedys, Trump, the Clintons, they're operating in trusts like this. And what people think, Michael, is that they must have this enormous team of people working for them that know every in and out and intricacy of the tax code, and they work every little rule and exception, and it's just this huge job. It's not, actually. It's one simple instrument. It's the instrument that we offer, and that's really the aha moment for a lot of people.
It must give you a lot of real fulfillment when you see somebody just click and they go, I get it.
It does. It does. Absolutely. And of course I live this way. I wouldn't have it any other way. My child is a trust fund baby, and it's fabulous to be able to say that.
I'm sure. You have something that most people really don't understand that they can have access to, because a lot of people think that, a trust is only for some certain people. Can you give our audience an idea of just who really would benefit from the Spendthrift Trust?
Michael, it's honestly, it's amazing. The Spendthrift Trust can benefit almost anybody with assets that would like to have them protected. The sad truth of the matter is that at any moment, any one of us could accidentally, and not meaning to, could kill somebody on the freeway on the way home, and you could be sued for millions of dollars and lose absolutely everything you have. And if your home and your vehicles and your assets are in this Spendthrift Trust, then they can't be taken from you. Even if a person wins a judgment against you and is holding a judgment in their hand, they can't collect on that when your assets are in a Spendthrift Trust. So you have this feeling of protection and security that you're not going to lose what you've worked so hard for. The Spendthrift Trust that we are settling our clients into are really for everybody. We have small business owners who maybe they own a family restaurant or an automobile repair shop or a roofing company. And in those cases, obviously, there is liability. So we like to say around the office that LLC stands for large lawsuit coming. If you haven't been sued yet and you're running a company, it's bound to happen at some point. And for that reason, the Spendthrift Trust is really well suited for enormous, large estates, people with a lot of assets. It's suited for large business operations and multiple business operations. It's suited for family businesses, and it's suited even for just regular individuals. We've had people get into our Spendthrift Trust simply for the fact that obviously they want the protection of their assets and to pass what they have earned along to their family. But additionally, the Spendthrift Trust avoids capital gains. And when you're ready to sell a property and you're about to take a big capital gains hit, the Spendthrift Trust can cost less than that capital gains hit could cost you. So there are a lot of reasons to really enter into this.
So it's not just for the Rockefellers. It's for the people that are out there trying to grow their business and protect their assets, and to be able to hand down what they've sweat, treasure, and blood for to their heirs. Am I getting that right?
That's exactly right. And I'm no Rockefeller, but it's for me. It's really for everybody.
Well put. All right, Victoria, thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.